actually build the plan right now. So put a me in the Zoom chat if you want me to make a workout plan for you live on the call. And then I will show you exactly what we are going to do. Or I'll show you exactly like firsthand how I come up with it. So put a me in the Zoom chat. If not, um, I'll just pick on someone. Okay, put a so let's do Ola Inca. Let me know, do you work out in the gym or at home?
I woke up in the gym.
At the gym?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. So let's write one for you right now.
thank you.
Can you guys see my screen? Put a yes or no in the Zoom chat so I know. Okay, cool. So if this is for Olayinka and she's a female, I would even put her. So for females, it's always going to be a lower push, upper body, and upper and lower pull split. Okay, so there's your 3 days. Okay, so day one would be lower push. And uh Shabam, I know you're a dude, but then this is very beneficial for you as well, especially if you are doing more of a leg focus day. Okay, so make sure you're taking notes as well. So day one's gonna be lower push. Okay, so how we're gonna do this. So when it comes to working out in the gym and you're doing your lower push exercises, you always want to do 2 minutes of warm up, right? So we're gonna start out with cycling, and it's gonna be 2 minutes. Okay. Second would be stretching. Okay. Stretching or foam rolling. Um, so for stretches for lower push, I would do a hip flexor stretch. And these are videos that you can find on my YouTube channel as well. So if you kind of forget what these are, um, just search it up on my YouTube. Okay. So, and that would be 30 seconds each side. Okay. And I'd also do another one, which is the adductor rock back, 30 seconds each side. Okay. The reason why we do these two stretches is because these muscles are too tight. So the hip flexors are too tight, adductors are too tight, but this is also a really good stretch to open up the hips. Again, we're trying to increase range of motion. We want to be making sure that we don't feel any knee pain, which is why we're opening up the hips. Okay, that's one, two. So after stretching, you're going to be doing some activation. Okay. So when it comes to activating the weak muscles, so like let's say, oops, let's see where it is. Okay. So let's go back to our template here. So when it comes to the structure, warm up, stretching, and then the next thing is activation, core activation, and movement prep. So what that looks like is for legs all the time, it's going to be activating your glutes. So a good one would be, of course, a glute bridge. And if you're wondering what BW means, that's body weight. And I wouldn't do two 3 sets. I would do 2 sets, and I would do 8 reps. Okay, it doesn't have to be too crazy. And also I would and the next thing I would do is also a dead bug. So the reason why I'm adding a dead bug here, so this is a core exercise. The biggest mistake a lot of people make when working out is they don't wake up their core. So this is why I always add this to every workout plan. I do 10 reps each side of this dead bug. Okay. And then glute bridges to wake up the glutes because the glutes are pretty much the core of the legs. Okay. And after that, movement prep. So you probably saw here, it said movement prep. So what I mean by movement prep is something that is very similar to your heavy lift that you're going to do. So movement prep is going to be similar to your primary compound lift, which we're going to get into slowly. Okay. So for this day, if it's lower push, I would do so I would search up squat and I would do a very easy squat. So it could be like a body weight squat. It could be like a goblet squat, something super simple. Okay. And I would just do 2 sets, 8 reps. Okay. And this is pretty much your whole warm up for any leg day. Okay. Very simple warm up that you can do for any leg day. And that's why I'm going to stop this right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to turn this into day 3 lower pull because we're going to be using the same warm up for lower body day. Okay. So this is a really good warm up. So when you're first starting out, a good primary compound lift would be a leg press in the gym. If you're working out at home, it could be like a heavy goblet squat. Okay. And I just want to choose this machine standard leg press. There you go. And for this, it's going to be 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. And you're going to rest for 90 seconds. Okay. After the leg press, what you're going to do, if we go back to, so that's our primary compound lift. The secondary lifts are going to be the next muscle that's next. So the next muscle that's next is going to be so we're doing lower push that involves mostly the pushing motion. This would be like a quad exercise. So this would be like a split squat, for example. So you just want like another let's find a good one. Yeah. So for example, a split squat with a pause. Okay. And then this would be 10 to 12 reps as well. And then you want a good machine one, which is leg extension. Oops, leg extension machine. Let's see. And I'm trying to find my leg extension machine. Where is it? Oh yeah, machine leg extensions. There you go. And if we go back to the template, yeah, so you got 2 secondary lifts. So that's going to be the split squat and the leg extensions. And the next thing is isolation exercises, which could be the smaller groups, which is going to be hip abduction machine. If I could find it here. Hip abduction. Let's see. Yeah, seated hip abduction machine. And this is going to be 10 to 12 reps. Okay. Okay. So that's already a pretty solid workout plan for day one. And the last thing is just stretching. For stretching, you just want to do anything that involves like static movement. So what I mean by static is static. Put static in the Zoom chat right now so that you're listening. So I know you're listening. Cool. Yeah. So a static stretch is a stretch where you are just staying still. Okay. There's no real movement. You're just staying still and you're cooling down. And I would do two stretches here. So it would be the figure four stretch or the pigeon pose for leg day. There you go. Sick. And that is pretty much day one. Okay. So it's always going to be something like this. If you haven't yet, take a screenshot of this or make sure you're writing notes for these. But this
Hmm.
pretty much follows the exact guideline I'm giving you guys. If you don't know, um, like for example, if you don't know what this is, like a secondary lift or isolation exercises, simply you can ask me, or you can always go to Chat GPT, right? And be like, yo, like Coach Ben sent me this. What are good primary compound lifts? What are good secondary lifts? What are good isolation exercises? What are good stretches for a lower push day? Yes, you'll have access to this recorded. Okay. Um, but yeah, does that kind of make sense? And did you see how fast, or just put a yes or no into the Zoom chat? Like, does this kind of make sense? And does it seem kind of simple of how to make a workout plan? Let me know if this seems simple, yes or no. And then we'll build the next 2 days for Olyenka as well. Can you see it now? Yeah. Again, you'll have access to this later on. But yeah, so after that, I'd pretty much just save it. Cool. And um, again, I'm gonna walk you through that whole thing. So this might take a while, okay? So we're gonna do lower pull right now. What that looks like, it's going to be so your main lift for your lower pull is going to be a RDL, so a Romanian deadlift. Secondary exercise would be a hamstring curl. Machine, maybe back extensions, hip abduction, or the isolation. Uh, and then again, I would still do pigeon pose. And uh, what we do like frog rock back pose as well. So at the end, it could be any stretch for the legs pretty much. Okay. And again, these are 10 to 12 reps for all of these. Okay. Boom. Done. Again, if you want to screenshot these, oh, here, I can show it to you like this. Okay. Well, like, I'll give you a chance to screenshot it after. But the one that we're missing is upper body day. So it's going to be day two upper body. And for upper body day, we don't do cycling, we do rowing. So a rowing machine, 2 minutes. Because if you're cycling, it doesn't really make sense to, so like, let's say you're doing upper body, it doesn't make sense to be cycling to like as your warm up, okay? Second thing is stretching, so it's gonna be a windmill stretch. So this side lying windmill stretch is really good, and mid back stretch. Okay. So when you're doing upper body, you want to make sure that you're stretching the chest and the back. These are the go-tos that I have. Okay. And then second one or after that is going to be activation. So it's dead bug. And the reason why we always do dead bugs in the beginning is because people are always like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna do core at the end. No, we're always gonna do core in the beginning because you're gonna be too lazy to do it at the end after your whole workout. Okay. So 10 reps each side, and then super band. So super band dislocates and super band pull aparts. So when it comes to upper body day as well, I always do these. And you've probably seen a lot of people do this in the gym. Put a yes or no if you've seen people do this in the gym. Because this is a very like common thing that we got to do. Because a lot of people like nowadays they have a desk job and they're not loosening up the shoulders. Okay. But this is something you want to do every single upper body day. That's fine, Kate. Kate, you can also buy one of these, especially if you have a desk job. I would highly recommend buying one of these and just like leaving it on your desk or like on your desk chair. But this is really good, like a quick and easy stretch you can do for your shoulders to avoid these round shoulders and bad posture. Okay. And after that, this is always something we do every upper body day as well. Because everyone is weak in the mid back. That's something you got to stretch out. Okay. Cool. And for upper body day, your main lift is going to be a 3-point row. So this is the heaviest thing you're going to be doing on that day. The next secondary muscles are going to be a chest thing. So you would do a bench press, incline bench press, um, seated row, and then always want to do some arms. So curls. I'll do these. Some tricep stuff. And some shoulders. So raises. Let's see. And then for stretches, um, oops. Just gonna search up stretches that I have in my library for upper body day. Okay. Yeah. For stretches, you can also do the same stretches you did earlier, or you can add some different stretches. This one's really good. And I'm trying to look for a good one for you guys. Oh, it's not here for some reason. TRX stretch. Oh yeah, this is like the best chest stretch ever. But this is very, very good for your posture as well. Okay. So again, I'm just making all of these 10 to 12 reps for all of these. This is going to be just one set of 15. Okay, cool. So perfect. We made a whole month's worth of working out. Okay. And that took what, 15 minutes? So, um, put an SS in like into the Zoom chat if you're ready for the screenshots. So I know you're still here. Um, and if you're doing home workouts as well, you could still do these exercises, okay? But you just got to find replacements for them. Okay, so for example, boom. Okay, screenshot this right now. There you go. That's a good size, right? Put done once you're done this one, so I know you're still watching, or get ready for the next one. Okay, next one. We're gonna be quick for this one now. Upper body day, day two. I'm gonna put it up for 15 seconds, okay? And then I'm gonna go to the next one. Again, all these exercises, you can find them in my YouTube channel if you forget how to do them, or like if you don't know how to do them. Okay. But these exercises pretty much follow the template that I use for all my clients. You really got to familiarize yourself with the names of these exercises as well, but also how to categorize them um, over time if you want to be consistent. Okay. Or if you want to do this gym thing long term, which the gym thing is supposed to be long term, like pretty much for the rest of your life. Okay. And here is lower pull. 10 more seconds for this before I move on. Okay. Any questions in the Zoom chat? If not, put an all good so that I know that I can move on to months two and three. Okay. Cool. So yeah, if you're working out at home, Kate, all you want to do just make sure you find um like you take a screenshot of this, send it to chat, and then ask chat like, yo, like what are exercises that can replace these machine exercises that I don't have at home? Simple. Okay. And based on the equipment I have that I have at home, how can I do these workouts? Because I don't have a hamstring curl machine. Like, what can I do instead? Okay. And then chat will give you a pretty good answer. Okay. So that's month one. Month one is down. So I'll show you how to make month two. So let's turn this to month one. There you go. Month two, pretty much you're duplicating it. That's it. It's going to be very similar to what you're doing in month one. Okay. Again, when I'm making these workouts, I don't want to waste too much time thinking too hard about them. You're just doing the same thing you did last time, but you're kind of adding a bit more spice to it. Okay. So, for example, let's see, for day one lower push, a lot of this stays the same. Okay. A lot of this stays the same. But you can also make it a tiny bit harder. Like, for example, if you do glute bridges body weight, what you can do is you could turn this into a mini band glute bridge. Like, find a different variation of it. You can switch it out. Because maybe you're just tired of doing the just normal body weight glute bridges. Boom. Switched out. Two sets. Perfect. And the main thing you want to change in here is the rep range, but also the rest. Okay. So for this is going to turn to 8 to 10 reps. This is going to turn 8 to 10 reps as well. So this is all for month two. The reason why we wanted to change it to 8 to 10 reps is because we want to be going heavier. Okay. So put into the Zoom chat 4 to 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks. Put that into the Zoom chat right now. 4 to 6 weeks. Because I really want you guys to remember this. 4 to 6 weeks is how long it takes for your body to get used to something. And when your body gets used to it, what happens is your body stops changing. So this is a reason why people that do the same workout program for like let's say they do the same workouts for 6 months and they're wondering why they're not seeing any change in their body. Okay. The reason why they're not seeing change in their body is because your body just got super used to the same workouts. So this is very important. Like you always have to change your workouts every single month, and they always have to be a tiny bit harder. So for here, in month two, we're going heavier and we're doing less reps. Okay, 8 to 10 reps, but we're doing more sets. Okay. Um, but also like let's say for example, if you're tired of like a certain exercise, you can always change it. So like, let's say I'm tired of split squat pulses. I could turn this into something similar like a Bulgarian split squat, for example. And you really want to get creative with this, and you want to make it also fun as well. If it's not fun, you're going to not want to go to the gym, okay? So you got to make sure you're changing these into some things you like. If you don't know like a replacement exercise, we can always do is like, yo, ask chat, like, yo, what's a good replacement for machine leg press? Or what's a good replacement for Bulgarian split squat? Or what's a good replacement for leg extensions? That's all you do, okay? But I don't really change too much of it. I just make sure we just change the rep range for the month, okay? If, for example, you are doing two like more than 10 reps, that means the weight was too low. You got to go heavier. So you always want to make it feel like a 6 to 7 out of 10. Okay. And you always want to stick with the same rep range in that month. Does that make sense? Put a yes or no into the Zoom chat right now if that makes sense. If not, ask a question.
Okay, because me, I'm actually on the road. So my question is this.
Olianka, I
What?
can't really hear you. Can you just
Oh,
type it into the Zoom chat like your question?
okay.
while we wait for Olenka's um question, I'm just gonna change all these to, sorry, 8 to 10 reps. And these are gonna be um a bit longer rest. Mm. So Olenka question is, what is the recommended weight to start with for the reps? So the recommended weight to start with, um, this is where you're testing waters in the gym. Okay, so like let's say you don't know like what's a good weight for 8 to 10 reps of this, the 3 point bent over row. What you want to do is you want to do one warm-up set, 1 to 2 warm-up sets to get a feel of like, yo, like 8 to 10 reps, this is how much I can do. And it's going to be different for everyone. Okay, but it's also going to be different like time of day as well, or like your mood, for example, or if you had pre-workout, for example, right? So it's always going to be different. That's why it's very important for you, like all of you, to make sure that you are logging your workouts in. Put a yes or no into the Zoom chat if you log your workouts in. Yes or no. If no, that's totally fine. I'll tell you what to do. And are you logging it through an app or are you just like logging it in on your like notes? Okay, perfect. Yeah. So you want to be making sure that you're always doing better than you did last week. Okay, so this is why it's important to have like a free workout app, like a good one. Yeah, so Heavy is good. The Strong app is really good as well. But something that's logging the workouts in so you know like like you can easily see the workouts you did last week. And all you want to do is beat the numbers from last week. Like let's say for example, for lower pull. So for lower pull, last week I did 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps, and then sorry, last week I was doing 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, and I was doing 40 pounds. Okay. What I would do is I would warm up with like a 30-pound barbell, and then I would go for something heavier than 40 pounds. I would go for like a 45 or 10 pound so that I stay in this 8 to 10 rep range or maybe heavier. I'm not sure, right? But this is why it's very important for you to make sure that you're always trying to stay in the rep range and make sure it always feels like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Because I can't really like tell you what exact weight you have to use. It's going to be different every single week. Okay? Questions every single week. So the weight could stay the same next week, but maybe you do more reps, right? Or you do like a tiny bit higher weight, um, and then you do less reps, for example. Like sometimes, like even for here, like even though it says like 8 to 10 reps, you could also try doing like for your last set, go heavier and do 6 reps for one heavier weight that you never really touched, right? But you just got to make sure that you log in these numbers so that you're always getting a tiny bit better every single week. What was your other question? Cool. So for these as well, I would like spice these up. Maybe I would do a chest press. So I would do a machine chest press instead of a dumbbell incline press if you wanted to. 8 to 10 reps, longer rest in between, right? Or I would change these into something else, maybe like a cable raise, or sorry, I'm trying to look for a good cable lateral. There you go. Cable lateral raise. Again, every month you're just switching out some exercises that you don't like, to something you want to do a bit more. Okay. And maybe you could also change these stretches. You could try different stretches for the legs as well. Okay. Increasing rest would be monthly. Yeah. And here's your opportunity to screenshot these. I'm going to put these on for 15 seconds each. I'm going to be counting down 10, sorry, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Upper body would be this. Again, very similar exercises. Um, Same template, just changing the rep range and the rest in between. Okay. But again, you can always like change these out with something that you want, right? Like the workouts that you're gonna do long term are the workouts that you like. If you're doing something that you hate, you're not gonna stick to it, okay? So you always want to make sure you're subbing things out. And day three, take a screenshot of this, boom. Oops. And again, this follows the exact template I gave all of you. Okay? Let's leave that up for a few more seconds. Cool. Now to month three. Okay? So month three, boom, just duplicate month two. And for these, oops, I accidentally duplicated month one, but that's fine. For these, what's going to be different is, so these stay all the same, like the warm up, unless you want to change it up, totally up to you. This becomes different. So this becomes two sets of 6 to 8. Okay. And then this can be Bulgarians, maybe a different type of Bulgarians. Let's go out. And this is going to be, oops, it's going to be 6 to 8 reps as well. Okay. And the rest for this is going to be a bit longer, 3 minutes. I'm taking these out. For these other ones, they could stay the same, or you could change them up. But I'll keep them at 10 to 12 reps. Okay. And again, you could change these up as well. You could also do, what's another good stretch? A good stretch would be the 90-90 hip rotations. That's something you could add as well. Okay. 30 seconds. So what I did here was I just made sure that the rep range goes lower. But you're doing in month three, you're lifting heavy ass weight. Okay. So this is gonna feel like a 7 to 8 RPE or a 7 to 8 out of 10. RPE stands for rate of perceived exertion. Um, Rate of perceived exertion just means like how hard on a scale from 1 to 10 it is in fitness terms. Okay. When I forgot to clarify, when doing exercises, any exercise you do, it's always 2 seconds. So any exercise you do, it's always 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up. That's pretty much the standard when it comes to working out. I see people like rushing their reps all the time. When you're rushing in the reps, you're not really like standardizing it. You want to make sure that you're following like the same kind of tempo all the time. Okay. But over time, when you're doing more heavier stuff, the going up part just wants to be faster. Okay. But this is what a lower push day would look like. If I were working out at home, I would do a super heavy goblet squat. So you need some heavy weights at home and maybe some like a heavier weight for these Bulgarian split squats. Okay. And we're going to be doing the same thing, 6 to 8 reps. Again, these weights are going to be freaking heavy. Okay. Really, really heavy. And then this is going to be 3 minutes. This could kind of stay the same. You could change them up a bit if you want. I'm not focusing too much on it. If you want, you can always search up what are good static upper body stretches at the end of the workout. Asking chat. Okay. But pretty much, I'm pretty much trying to simplify all this for you guys so you don't have to worry too much about it. Okay. And then this one is going to be also 6 to 8 reps. Oops. 6 to 8 reps. I would do 2 sets. So the reason why we want 2 sets for the heavier lifts now is because um the intensity is just too high. Like even for me example, sometimes I'll do 3 sets, but 2 sets are just more sustainable. But yeah, and that's how you make month three. That's pretty much it. Any questions right now? Put in all good if you're all good, or just put any questions into the Zoom chat. Yeah. So as you've seen in the last like half an hour, I made a whole work like a 3 months worth of workouts for you guys. And this is based on a woman who works out. It's gonna be push lower, upper body day, and pull lower. Okay. Um, but yeah, anyways, take these screenshots for now too. Screenshot these. 10 seconds this time. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna do day two. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then this one. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. So that's pretty much it. 3 months worth of workouts. Okay. So the first month is pretty much high reps, 10 to 12 reps, because you're kind of teaching your body how to um, move in this certain way, but also building that mind to muscle connection. That's why it's higher reps and lighter weight. Month two is like, yeah, we don't want to be rushing our reps, okay? It's always 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up. Month two is you building more muscle by doing more reps. Sorry, less reps, but with heavier weight. Okay. And month three is when you're actually building strength. You're going extremely heavy weight, but resting a bit longer. Okay. So this is you confusing your body all the time, making sure that you're feeling a different change all the time. Okay. And you're probably right now, you're like, Coach Ben, like, how about months 4 to 6? Yo, like after month three, you go back to month one. That's pretty much it, right? So you just pretty much cycle through the whole thing and you just change what workouts you want to do. You change what compound lifts you want to do. Um, for example, like if you focused on a leg press here, you can go for focusing on squats for the next 3 months, right? Or if you focused on Bent over rows here, you could change it up to more chest press for the next 3 months. Okay. But it's always just changing up the exercises, but then making sure your compound lift is very similar for the next 3 months. Okay. You're just cycling over these 3 months all the time. And the reason why this is a really good idea is because after month three, your body's just freaking tired. Your body's gonna be like, yo, we need to recover. The best way to recover is go for lighter weights and also higher reps. Okay. And just gradually work your way up to the strength building phase. Again, any questions on that, or does that kind of make sense? Put an all good into the Zoom chat if you have any questions. Oh, sorry. If you don't have any questions, so that I can move on. But yeah, these are the compound lifts that you can change up every single 3 months. Kate, if you're working out from home, just find um dumbbell versions of these. Um, Shabam, if you are a male, you want to be doing chest, legs, and back. So push pull legs. Okay. So 2 upper body days, 1 lower body day. Okay. Take a screenshot of this as well. This is very important. So again, month one is mind to muscle connection. Month two is actually more muscle building. Month three is strength building. And you go back to month one after all these are done. Okay. And good news is I also have this as well. You could screenshot these. I'm not sure if you're able to see them, but you're probably able to, like if you're not able to see these, I could also send you a copy of these as well. Okay? So this is for a female and this is for a male. So I think Shabam, you want to screenshot this one. Okay? So yeah, these are pretty much examples of what you can do, but also stretches that I like to do as well. Um, Made for you, these are pretty much like month one exercises. And again, if you want to change it up, just change it to month two, month three templates. Okay. Now we got 6 months of workouts. It's cool. But if our goal is to lose weight, how about cardio, right? That's the biggest question for a lot of ladies and some men. It's like, why are we not adding a lot of cardio into our workout program? Okay, here. So when it comes to fat loss, you don't want to rely on intense cardio sessions. What tends to happen, put this into the Zoom chat right now. Melted candle. Write down melted candle into the Zoom chat right now. Melted candle is what you're going to look like when you only focus on cardio and you don't focus on resistance training or weightlifting. Okay. Like, yes, you're going to lose body fat, but then there's going to be have like extra skin there that you're gonna have, and it has nowhere to fall other than your small muscles if you're not working out, right? So this is why it's important to work out 3 times a week as well. You want to make sure that our extra skin has stuff to fall on when we lose all this body fat. That's why, yes, you can lose weight from cardio only, but you're gonna look very funny. Okay? And when it comes to cardio, walking should be your main form of cardio. I would do at least 8 to 12,000 reps. Like 8 to 12,000 reps is the rep range, or the 8 to 12,000 steps a day is the sweet spot when it comes to losing weight. How about you gain lean muscle but not losing body fat? What do you mean by this, Olinka?
Can you hear me?
You can say it into the mic if you want, if it's easier for you.
What I mean is that, so I've been trying to kind of lose body fat and lifting weights, progressive overload. I've been doing that. And when I check, I see that I'm gaining more lean muscle, but I'm not seeing the weights change on my on my skill. So when I see body weight composition, like my clothes look fitter and all that. But I'm not just seeing that I'm losing body fat. Did you get? So what could be the reason? Because okay, I read that okay, you increase your protein, increase your weight gain, your weight lifting and strength training, but what happened when you don't actually lose that body fat?
So it
Do you
depends. Like,
get?
like how long have you been doing this for? Like, how long have you been working out, and tracking your food and walking more? Yeah, I got what you said. Just keep your mic on so I can just answer it. How long have you been consistent for, Olienka? Okay. Well, I kind of understood what she said, but a lot of it always goes down to calorie deficit. So you have to be tracking your food for a long period of time, and you got to be making sure that you're underneath calories every single day in order to see the weight go down. Like, yes, you like on some like those scales that scan like your body fat percentage, you can see the muscle going up, but the weight is not going down. It's because there's extra body fat there because you are not in a true calorie deficit. Or number two, it could be stress because you're not getting enough sleep. Um, Number three, it could be because you're not walking enough. There's like a lot of reasons why you still have a lot of extra body fat, but you got to be making sure that one, you're getting 3 workouts a week. Number two, you're making sure you're getting at least 8 to 12,000 steps a day. Number three is you're in a true calorie deficit where you're actually like within calories every single day. Number four is making sure you're getting at least 7 hours of sleep. Okay. And that's a sweet spot for most women. Getting more sleep is what's going to help them lose the weight. Because if you're in a state of high stress and you're doing all the things right, but the weight isn't going down, if your stress is high, your body's just going to cling onto body fat, and it's going to make it like 10 times harder for you to lose the weight. Okay. Um, but yeah, so when it comes to cardio, I wouldn't do any intense cardio sessions. If you want, you could like what's optional is doing 1 to 2 fitness classes a week to speed up fat loss. Okay. But yeah, 8 to 10,000 steps a day is ideal.